Welcome to Journey to Queendom, the sacred space where survival ends and sovereignty begins. I'm your host, Marci J. Duncan, and this is where we lay down the cape of overachievement, code switching, and self doubt, and we pick up the crown of softness, wholeness, and authenticity. And now, part two. Surely they respect me. I can speak the language. I look the part. I'm crushing it. Surely they respect me. Wrong. Why don't they see me as equal? Why don't they see me worthy or beneficial to the team? Right? Why not? Why don't they understand that Black Lives Matter? Why they don't understand that the silence was deafening and hurtful? Why am I looking around to see who voted for who? Right? Clearly they respect me. Why am I working so hard if they see me as this Black woman who needs their help? I can fix all of their problems and still be last on their priority list. What in the heck am I doing? Who am I doing all of this for? People who are determined to see me as society has painted me anyway? Why am I on this hamster wheel? Why am I doing all of these tricks, speaking all of these different code switching languages, if I'm still going to be considered the least of them? It was this question. It was this question that bugged the heck out of me because I'm like, I'm doing all the right things. I'm checking all the boxes. I am the most put together, tolerable Black woman ever. Why isn't it working? Because it wasn't authentic. It was not authentic. How did I miss it? I'm going to tell you how I missed it because it had benefits. This Superwoman stereotype, this Superwoman persona, this do it all Black woman save the day, it had benefits. Let me tell you. Let me tell you how many benefits it had. First of all, I went to grad school with a 1-year-old and I finished grad school. I moved to Orlando with my son, just me and him, set up shop, did the thing, pursued my dreams. I made a goal. Once I moved to Orlando, I was going to be there for 2 years and I'm going to get my union card. That's a card that actors get in order to work professionally in the industry. I'm going to get my union card in 2 years. In 2 years, I did that. I was a professor at the age of 25, right? You should have seen me on that campus. Professor, not full professor, but a whole professor on a college campus at 25. I was the first in my family in my siblings to graduate with a college degree. I was the first in my family to get a master's degree. I was the first Black president of the Florida Theater Conference. I was the first Black audition coordinator at the SCTC Theater Conference, Southeastern Theater Conference. I was crushing my goals. I was in film, television, commercial, theater, professional directing, professional tour. I am doing all of the things on my list, all as a single mom. My son was 10 years old before I got married. I found the man. I found my shining knight in shining armor. I found it all. I got married. I started killing it at my job, right? Making waves for these Black people to go and audition professionally and hooking them up with jobs. Every professional job I've ever worked, I have made a way for my students to come behind me and work professionally. I am killing the game. People are saying to me, how are you doing all of this? When do you sleep? How in the world are you able to do this? I remember this woman said to me, a woman that I really admire and still to this day, Ikio Christokima, she said to me, Marci, I am so impressed at how much you've done in such little time. And honey, I wore that thing like a badge of honor. I wore it like a badge of honor. How much I could do how much I could withstand, how strong I was. In grad school, it was extremely difficult, but they didn't even know I had a child. I refused to be a statistic. I refused to let my son be an excuse as to why I couldn't do what I was supposed to do. I was always working hard and doing what I was supposed to be doing, showing up in the spirit of excellence. Even when I would get beat down to the ground, I would be back the next day with a smile and working even harder than I did the day before. This, this is what kept me going in survival mode for so long, because survival mode, I got done. I got stuff done. I was at the top of my game. And everybody looking at me was going, how in the heck is she able to do this? How is she able to do this? And so I'm bringing all of this fantasticness to this job where I'm teaching, and they're like, what kind of unicorn? What kind of black girl magic is happening here? I don't like it. She's pursuing too much. She's doing too much. She's getting ready to pass me. I don't like it. Let's all decide that we don't like it. We don't like it. And of course, you know that started to show. Now, I did not know that was happening at the time. Of course, I experienced it as, I am working so hard. I am doing the thing. Why don't they see me? Oh, I know. I need to do more. I need to show them. I'll show them. They won't be able to ignore this. I'll show them. And it kept adding on and adding on and adding on and adding on until that one fateful day where I woke up and said, I could run a freaking marathon and they still wouldn't care. It would not be enough. It will never be enough because I'm doing it for the wrong reason. I am doing it for the wrong reason. And that's how the trick of super survival mode gets perpetuated. That's how it gets perpetuated because it has results. I was crushing my goals. I was killing the game. I was working professionally, teaching professionally, directing professionally, bringing all of this loveliness back to my students, giving them opportunities. I was killing it. Now I can say it now, but as I was doing it, it was not enough because they still didn't see. They still didn't respect me. It was not enough. I guess I got to do more. I guess I got to be more. Right? Until I wrote this list, until I wrote this, why am I angry list? Then it started to make sense to me. It started to make sense to me that it will never be enough. And that I have to start thinking about who I am, what I am, how I show up, how I exist in spaces. And for a long time, I would shrink in spaces where I knew I was the biggest one there. For a long time, I would be silent when I knew I should have spoken up. I would not do too much for fear that I would be thought of, she doing too much. I was afraid of presenting my organic, my authentic Black self at this predominantly white job because I didn't think they could handle it. I didn't think they could handle all of this. So I gave them a fraction of who I was, just enough of what I thought they could stomach. And the rest of it, I left at home. That's why I was angry. That's why I was angry. I was angry because I bought in to the game that I wasn't worthy, that I wasn't smart, that I wasn't enough, that I wasn't killing the game. I believed the lie that they were perpetuating. And whether they were consciously or subconsciously, I don't really care. It was perpetuated. Yeah. And I believed it. I believed it. And it wasn't until I sat down with this angry list and I started to understand through therapy, things have to change. I have to change. If this person I created to be palatable for somebody else isn't working, it's never going to work. So I might as well be myself. And friends, the journey just got kicked into high gear. Then I had to start thinking about what I want. And of course, that's the list I'm going to ask you to write now. What do you want? What are some of the things that you have wanted, but you have been too afraid to tell anybody or too afraid to write it down? What are the desires of your heart that you forego, that you didn't do, that you didn't get because of what somebody else was going to think of that choice? Survival mode keeps you aware of how other people are feeling at all times. And your feelings are constantly changing based off the energy that you're getting. That has to stop. That had to stop in me. The first thing that happened is I had to stop caring. I had to stop caring so much of what other people thought. And when I got honest with myself and sat down and wrote down things that I wanted, purely for the sake of it's what I want, purely for the sake of it's my decision, not somebody else's decision of what they think I should do, or because they're going that way, I'm going to go that way. No, what is it that I want? I wrote it down. Here's some weird things I wrote, but I don't care if you think it's weird. It's what I wanted. I wanted a tattoo. I wanted a vacation for the first time. I wanted to give myself a party and celebrate. I wanted a photo shoot and bask in my femininity. I wanted to start my locks. I did not want to code switch anymore. I wanted to make peace with my body in every element that it is existing right now. I wanted to make peace with my body because it has taken me through C-sections, miscarriages, IVF failure, ageism, endometriosis. The list goes on and on and on. It has supported me through all of that. I need to support my body. I wanted to put down my armor and to engage with true vulnerability with the people that I love in my life, with God and myself. And I wanted to repent for hiding. I wanted to apologize to this little girl for hiding her all of these years. And then in turn, hiding myself all of these years. I needed to seek forgiveness. I needed to stop apologizing when I wasn't sorry. I was determined to stop explaining myself. You heard what the hell I said. That is that. And lastly, I wanted to stop performing. There was no need for me to perform anymore. I wanted my yes to be yes and my no to be no. Friends, this process took me a long time, and I'm just checking off some of these things on this list. I got my first tattoo when I was 40 years old. Might have been 41. I had my first party this past year on my birthday. My vacation is booked. I leave in 2 weeks. I did a photo shoot. And the picture on the cover art is one from that photo shoot. Of course, you see, I started my lock journey 3 years ago, and she's thriving. She is thriving. The code switching is still something that I'm actively working on. You know, I have been doing it for so long that it comes and goes so quickly. I don't even realize when it's in and when it's out sometimes. But I'm actively working on that. I can say today that the journey to make peace with my body is in place. I am so far from what I used to be, In terms of being nice to my body, nice to myself, I have grown so much and I'm continuing to do that. I have made peace with that little girl and I've started to thank her for all of the secrets she kept for me, all of the choices that she had to make because it was the right choice to make at that time, because it was the best that she could do at that time. I had to thank her because she is the reason that I'm sitting here right now. No longer hiding, no longer afraid to share our journey in finding each other and crowning myself and crowning my younger self. Listen, I hope you all enjoyed this episode like I enjoyed it. I almost talked myself happy here today, okay? I want you to think about these lessons for the next time. Stop protecting that wounded girl. Set her free by finding your authentic self. For me, it started with an angry list and it ended with what I want list that brought me closer. Start your journey. I want you to stop playing it small. You know, that saying is take up space. And, you know, I know that we've overused it, but it really, be your big self. Be your majestic, royal, do too much self. If they can't handle it, let them deal with that. You must move authentically. Okay? The affirmation this week: delayed joy is just stupid. If you want it, pursue it. Say it with me. Delayed joy is stupid. Delayed joy is stupid. We're not promised tomorrow. Joy is for you. You have access to it every single day. Joy is a decision. I wasted 15 years walking around perpetually angry, foregoing joy because I didn't think I was worthy, because I didn't think it was attainable. But it was there the whole time. It was just a decision. One more thing. Answer this question in your journal. What are your goals for this chapter of your life that don't include playing it small for other people? All right. Thank you guys for listening. Join me on the next episode where we will uncover the power of softness, recovering our sense of softness. And I'll talk to you next episode about a creative project that really helped to change my life. Let's continue to choose to put down that cape and pick up that crown. I'll see you next time. Hey guys, just in case you didn't know, there is a workbook that is a companion to this podcast. Check it out in the show notes. You are going to love it. Thank you for walking this stretch of the journey with me. If something in today's episode stirred your spirit, share this episode with a sister. Leave a review or connect with me on social media. Remember, your softness is sacred. Your healing is your birthright. And your queendom, it's already within you. Until next time, keep rising and claim your inheritance. This podcast was brought to you by Artists at Play, nurturing the artist within.